We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on a whole summer dream. Life's complicated, no Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow off some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that roll 50 over the limit. Cushion that blow, I don't get why they with it. We at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road, and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas, we were. Fake into fame, but we all know, cause the source told all you niggas just learn. Talking and saying y'all pseudo, and it's true though, y'all just popping them perks. Taking the stage, got a few shows, let the crew know it's a clouse in the dirt. I am the king and it's my throne, y'all are kind though, they keep calling me Zerk.
We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
We only got one life, I'ma get that. If you with that, do not sit back and just wish that you had it. Despite all your witchcraft and your riffraff, this is my gift and you wish that you had it. Tonight, gonna bump trap, gonna thump that. Drums in the back and you know that we have it. Girls like where the one at, need to run back. Flee from these niggas, you know that they savage. They acting macho like they Randy Savage. They call me Pablo, the kingpin is at it. I am Apollo, you Rocky, I've had it. Y'all can just follow cause niggas is slacking. I am Jack Sparrow, my verses is cracking. I am the ghost and you rappers is Pac-Man. Out in the coast and I'm getting more blacking. Y'all acting hairy, I'm grabbing the waxing.
Ah, yes. Hello. Oh, Beaches. Oh, what up, Beaches? Oh, my goodness. Oh. Come on. Tired of all the bullshit, man.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. The bacon is sizzling.
Come on.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Come on. Testing. Test equals. Welcome everyone to episode 938 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, Slaycast, Taintcast, and Friday Cast. And it's cold in here, and my nipples are like diamonds cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceptuals. What is the good word, everybody? If you like to do supersets from your arms, you like to do arm supersets, you're a biceptual. It's a new thing for the acronym. LBGTB, biceptuals. That's a new one. That's a new category. Just created one. Let's add it to the list. What up, fam? What's going on? 948. What up? Swole Nation, assemble. Ooh, I like it, Casey. Swole Nation, assemble. Just like Anchorman. We are assembling here. Yes, indeed. Make sure, fam, make sure to subscribe if you ain't subscribed to the podcast, the Slamcast, the Beastcast. Major updates coming. I have not told you yet, but I'm going to tell you soon. soon. You're going to miss it. If you don't tune into the Daily Swole, you're going to miss some of the new updates. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in the Swole. I don't want to say, I almost said in my Swole hole, and I'm like, ixnay on the Swole hole A, or whatever Pig Latin is. Yeah, Swole hole doesn't sound that good. But there's been a lot, maybe the Swole brain, the Swole place up here, my Swole dome. Rocky start. Anyway, a lot of stuff been going on. I just posted. So those of you that are in Swolenormous X, I literally just posted up like 4 or 5 brand new programs in Swolenormous X. Some totally new splits. I redesigned a couple things. It's awesome. So actually in Swolenormous X people, I'm going to be going live to discuss a couple things probably right after this episode. I want to get in there and break it down. That way everyone can kind of dive on into it and check it out. And we'll probably do a masterclass this coming week on that and some other things. We got just a lot of stuff going on. It's great. It's the end of the year and a lot of you are tuning into, or kind of plugging into the holidays and shit like that. But I am getting amped up for 2019. So make sure wherever you're watching or listening, send me a DM, send me a message. Let me know how I can help you crush 2019. Some of you have seen some of the videos I've been doing. I really want to plug in. I really want to get a lot more conversations going on. I want to know what you need, how I can help you. I know I'm already helping a lot of people, especially Swolenormous X members, but what's holding you back? What's really holding you back from taking control of your fitness, and why are you waiting? First off, why the fuck are you waiting? I am debating. There might be some fucking, I'm going to do, December is going to be lit. A couple things I will tell you, that pricing is changing and increasing for Swolenormous X. So those of you that have signed up, those of you that are members already, you are grandfathered in. Nothing will change for you. You're locked in. But things are changing on the Swole front, and a lot of major updates and a lot of big things going down. So make sure that you take advantage of December and don't wait. Don't wait till the last minute to get your mindset in the right place, because the new year is going to come really fast. You are going to hit it like a fucking storm. It is going to be like a tornado. You know how this works. You know how December works. You know how Christmas works. You know how New Year's works. It's going to be like a fucking buzzsaw. And all of a sudden you're going to wake up out of your hungover slumber, eating tons of shit. You're going to feel like sluggish. And all of a sudden it's going to be January 4th or 5th or 6th or 1st or whatever the hell you want to. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to get started. Why get started then? I'm telling you, why get started then? Anyone that waits for New Year's resolutions is a fucking jabroni. I'll tell you right now, even if you join on January 1st and you come back to this episode and you listen, you're a jabroni. You're a jabroni for starting on January 1st. Anyone that starts doing their fitness is fundamentally a jabroni. I don't dislike you, but you're a fucking jabroni because you're waiting till after the New Year's. You're going to be a fat, lazy fuck for another 4 weeks. That's what you're saying. If you tell me right now in the comments, if you want me to tell you to your face or your virtual face, if you, and listen, podcast people too, if you are planning on waiting to get your fitness on until January 1st, if you're waiting another month, you're a piece of shit. Oh shit, I said it. You're going to be a fat fuck for 30 more days. Really? You need to be a fat fuck for 30 more days? That's really what has to happen? That has to happen? You have to be a fat lazy biche for 30 more fucking days? Because that's what you need. That's what you need, right? Hey, come on. Who doesn't need that? Who doesn't need to be a fat lazy fuck for 30 more days? You've already been a fat lazy fuck for 30 years. What's a couple more days, right? What's 4 weeks? I'm telling you, if you're watching or listening to this right now, why are you picking January 1st to be the day where you decide to all of a sudden I'm going to be healthy. All of a sudden I'm going to be in shape. Blah, blah, blah. No, what you're saying by talking January 1st, you're saying, I want to be a fat, lazy fuck for 30 more days. Okay. Enjoy getting rid of that 10 or 15 pounds over the course of like 6 months after it takes you 30 days to gain it. Good luck with that shit. So why does that happen? Why does it take so much longer to lose it? Well, because your body wants to store energy. Your body wants to have this extra energy around. It's like money in the bank. That's why your body doesn't want to get rid of it. That's why your body doesn't want to get rid of body fat. It's extra energy. Don't be a fat, lazy fuck for 30 more days. Start today. I don't care what you do. Just fucking start getting serious about your fitness. Start taking your health seriously. Papa spilling that tea. Fucking laying it down. I didn't get my cup today. I'm going to take this top off so I can drink it easier because it's so cold in here. It's so, I'm cold. It's so cold in here. I just want to keep my coffee warm. The boozy, the ones who actually do start based off New Year's resolutions are generally, burped, are generally short-lived. Oh, anyone that starts on January 1st is like fundamentally fucked. Anyone that starts a fitness program, a lot of people that join Swole Enormous X like last January, they fall off quick. Of course. They're not, it doesn't last. It doesn't last. If you're waiting for January 1st, you're already saying, I'm not going to stick to it. I'm not going to take my fitness seriously. You know what? You're better off. Instead of joining Swole Enormous X, you're better off doing a fucking 6-week challenge. Do that because that's probably as long as you're going to fucking stay on it. I don't want fucking jabronis. Swole Enormous X, we don't accept jabronis. If you're going to be a fucking jabroni, then get the fuck out. If you're not serious, if you're not going to maintain it, get out. Get out. What are you doing? What are you doing here in this Swole Enormous community? What are you doing here on the Daily Swole? What are you listening and watching this for? You're just watching me rage. Oh, that guy's so funny. Oh, look at his beard. He's calling people fat fucks. And you're going to go back to your life being a fat fuck? No. Why don't you take the information and apply it? Why don't you take the information and do something with it? And, make the moves to not be a fat fuck anymore. All right. This episode should have been called Fat Fuck Friday. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's what we're going to change it to. It's titled Master Your Adaptation. That was the plan. But Fat Fuck. You know what? How about this? Every week we have Sunday Q&A, right? We have the Sunday Swole Q&A. Now we're going to have Fat Fuck Friday. I'll rage every Friday on Fat Fucks. How about that? Right? Every Friday we'll do a Fat Fuck Friday. And whatever the topic is, I'll just rage and I'll just, be a little bit more on edge. At least today is Fat Fuck Friday. I like it. Oh, I like that. Oh, fam, we got it now. We got it now. Flex Friday. FFF. Fat Fuck Friday. Do you straighten your beard before you go live? I have not touched my facial hair today. I took a shower because I worked out earlier, but no, I have not even run a comb through it. So this is just natural beauty. You're welcome. Instagram's got that close up from the fucking and the beard. Don't wait to start on Monday. That's right. Start today. Oh, come on. We're not naming names. She's just one. She's just part of the problem. Rage out Fridays. Fat Fuck Friday. Oh. Gargle that fat. All right, so let's get into today's episode. Essential beard oils. No, I really haven't used much of a beard oil lately. Anyway, let's get into the episode today. Master Your Adaptation. So a lot of you have been messaging me. I've been getting a ton of DMs on ZIG. I get messages all the time, a lot of them, and I try to get back to every single one. Now, one of the things that I have been getting a lot of are people with conflicting goals. And we do talk about this often. We do come up with this a lot, is people with conflicting goals. And what that means is, and what I mean by that, are they're trying to do multiple things. They're trying to do a bunch of things at the same time, and they're trying to excel. Okay? It's fundamentally not knowing what you want out of your life and out of your training. Let's talk what adaptation is. Adaptation is really your body's response to its environment. It's a response to stress. If you train yourself like a bodybuilder, of course, you're doing all the nutrition. But if you physically, let's assume that sleep, recovery, let's say all that's on point, right? Nutrition, let's just blanket statement that whole thing, right? let's talk about specifically just the physical training. Let's talk about physical adaptations. If you're training yourself to be a bodybuilder, you'll build muscle, you'll build symmetry, right? Because you're doing training in a specific way. If you do some type of mixed training, like a CrossFit, you're going to adapt to whatever random workouts you're doing for that, right? To a point, okay? You're not going to be a master of everything. When it comes to some of these workout schedules that I'm getting, or people are asking me questions, hey, I do this on 3 days, I do 3 days of this. I get things like I do 3 days of lifting weights, I do 3 days of high intensity or like HIIT training, and then I do 1 day of cardio. I'm like, what are you trying to do? You're doing cardio, you're doing resistance training, you are doing high intensity interval training. Like, what do you, it's confusing. You're confusing your body. When a training program has a lot of random stuff, it's going to be more challenging for you to adapt to any single one of them. Your body physically is going to try to adapt to what it's exposed to consistently. And it doesn't mean that you can't do different things and get better at those things, but are you trying to excel? Are you trying to look a certain way? And you're doing performance type stuff like CrossFit, and then you're trying to look a certain way. Okay. It's an illusion when you see some of these athletes or these top level CrossFitters that are taking things. They're not all natural. Give me a fucking break. They're not all natural. They're doing whatever the fuck they can to win. It's a lot of money on the line, a lot of sponsorships on the line. It's like everything else. It's like fitness models. No one tests. No one really does any of that shit. Everyone turns a blind eye because it's popular. Everyone just ignores and, as long as you don't say anything, we'll sponsor you. It's the same as every other industry. Okay. For sure. Now, and everyone has this idealistic thing. No one thought, Lance Armstrong's natural. He doesn't do anything. And then it comes out he was fucking cheating the whole time. Everyone does it. Fucking MMA fighters, football players, baseball players do it. Everyone does it. And they still do it. They just get better at hiding it. So that being said, when you're trying to, there's this illusion that you're going to look a certain way. You're not going to look a certain way based on performance. You know, what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to be better at a sport, better at an activity? Then you need to, if you're trying to get better in activity, then you have to train to get better at that performance. That's it. It doesn't matter what you look like, essentially. If you're trying to get better performance-wise, you're not concerned with how you look. You're not concerned with muscle proportion per se. You're trying to get better at your skill, at your craft, at your sport, or whatever competition you're doing, powerlifting, sprinting, you're climbing fucking trees, whatever it is, right? When it comes to bodybuilding or physique, you are training to look a certain way. You're training to have certain proportions, right? There's totally different goals. Performance, bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, running, cycling, they're very, very different. Swimming. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do those different things. It doesn't mean you can't swim and build muscle. But if you're prioritizing certain things, you're going to get better at those things. It's pretty common sense. And it doesn't take hardcore scientific degrees. It doesn't take a degree in exercise science. You don't have to study this for years. You don't have to look at scientific articles to understand that what the body is exposed to, it will adapt to, or it will do its best to try. It will die trying, right? It'll get hurt before it gives up. Like your body will do its best to adapt literally as best it can. If you're giving yourself random shit all the time, what do you think is going to happen? You might adapt a little bit. You're giving your body so many different facets and so many different stimuli. It's going to essentially be a little bit confused. It's going to do its best, but it won't really go any one direction. It'll handle it. It'll juggle it. Now, if you're trying to make progress, you don't really want to juggle. You want to focus and you want to crush. You want to give it all your effort. Think about anything in your life that you give 75% effort to. Wouldn't you agree that it would be better if you gave 100%? If you go all in, you will get amazing results because you're focusing 100% on it. So when you are doing your programming, really look at what your goal actually is. I think one of the problems is some people just don't know what they want. They see a lot of things. They look at a lot of things. They want to do so much stuff. Okay, well, pick something. You can dabble. You can do some MMA. You can do some running, and then you could do some lifting and powerlifting. But chances are when you do all those different types of stresses, when you do all those different types of things, you're going to get hurt. You're increasing your risk because you're not giving enough attention to the skill. You're not giving enough attention to the form. You're not giving enough time and focus and recovery for any of those individual tasks. You're doing a lot of different stuff, and your body is just trying to handle and do it the best it can, recovering. And eventually something breaks, right? I mean, if you're not giving all your energy towards practicing form for powerlifting, then you're at risk during those movements because you might be fatigued from doing so much cardio or doing other types of training. Come on. I mean, how many people play multiple sports? You have a couple of those freaks like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, and usually they're decent in one and excellent in another. Very few people have ever done that and are good at both because it's specificity. Your body adapts to skills, to overload based on specific styles of training. All right. CrossFit, for example, is performance-based. It's performance. If you do CrossFit, you will get better at CrossFit. You'll get better at that style of training. It's not really functional for life in so many cases. Maybe if you consider rope climbing functional, okay, if you have an opportunity to climb up a rope, fine. I mean, how good do you need to be climbing up a fucking rope? Should you be strong enough to right. If you can climb up a rope, that's great. If you're in a situation in real life that you have to climb up a rope like 10 times, you're in some serious fucking shit. Like, when does that ever happen? Are you just in the jungle, like in the Amazon jungle, and you're just climbing fucking, climbing those vines from the trees for trying to get away from a tiger? Like, you got some serious shit that's going down. So when it comes to functional training, like, I want to be healthy. I want to be good at like all these different things. I want to be diverse. People confuse performance for visual. They confuse aesthetics with performance because some people adapt to their performance style training with, some people get better physical adaptations than others. Some people look more aesthetically appealing from doing performance activities than others. However, if you focus on your training to have more of a physical look a certain way, you are more likely to achieve that. Usually people that train a certain way for a sport or for an activity that have a decent physique, they don't look like a bodybuilder. They just look like they have muscle development for the skills that they do. And everyone develops differently when you do kind of like random type exercise. There's just a very fine line between, and there's a lot of individuality that goes along the way. But all I can say is make sure, at least if you're doing this type of stuff and you're mixing things up, if you just enjoy doing different things, that's fine. Live your life, but just understand that there's limitations. Understand that your adaptation is going to hit a ceiling. Understand that there are going to be challenges that you face recovering and excelling at any one of those things. And make sure you're not doing it all in the same session. Make sure you're not doing powerlifting, then you're doing tons of cardio, and then you're trying to make sure you're at least splitting it up onto different days or into different training phases. So there's nothing wrong with changing your training approach. It just really comes down to what you want. And when I have these conversations with people that have these weird little splits or all these different things in a single week, I ask them, what do you want to accomplish? And really, a lot of times it's, I want to build muscle and lose fat and have great performance. It's like, you have no idea what you want. You want everything. Everyone wants everything. Welcome to the fucking club. Everyone, wouldn't it be nice if you could build muscle, lose fat, have better performance, do this? Yeah, it'd be great. Let me just get better at everything. Nothing does that. Nothing gets you better at everything. Nothing will get you everything. Nothing. You have to choose. You have to specify. You can't be a master of everything, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. You can improve in different areas. You can improve your skills. You can have different training phases. You can segment your training in different ways. It doesn't mean you can't get better, but it depends on how good you want to get. If you want to have an amazing physique, come on, you need to go all in. If you want to be amazing at cross training, then do cross training and focus only on that. However, Most people don't understand that. They think they can have it all. And usually when that mentality exists, you hit a wall, you get injured, you overtrain, you don't understand program design, you don't understand deloading, you don't know when to do it, and you really don't get the full benefit of any style of training. You're not going to lose weight and maintain your strength. You're not going to lose weight and shred up and get stronger. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get leaner and feel stronger, have more energy. That's not going to happen. The leaner you get, the more depleted you are. You're going to lose some muscle mass. You're going to lose strength. You know, you start going for something like strength training or powerlifting. You're going to lose potentially some mobility depending on what you're doing. You're going to have to eat an excessive amount of calories depending on your weight class. You're going to train a certain way. You're going to lose some endurance based on your training habits. Like, that's what's going to happen. It comes at the cost of specificity. You go all in, you give your attention, you sacrifice other things, and there's nothing wrong with that. It comes down to what you want to happen. And most people have conflicting actions with what they want to happen. They say they want one thing, or they say they want too many things, and they do something else. Don't do performance stuff if you want to look a certain way, if you want physical change. Doesn't mean you can't get some physical change with that, but if people have this like fitness model or physique idea, they have this bodybuilder like shredded, like, you know, fitness model concept in mind, and they go do performance stuff and HIIT training and shit. That's not going to get you looking like that. If you're okay with that, that's fine. But understand, you're not going to look like someone who does bodybuilding if you do CrossFit or you do HIIT training or whatever the fuck that is. That's just a blanket term for running around and doing burpees and stuff. So understand what you're trying to accomplish, and that it's not the same as if it's not the same as your goal, like what you're trying to accomplish, you need to know what you want and work backwards. What are you doing to achieve that? Does that map out to your goal? And if not, okay, then don't do that, or change your goal. But I really love to go cycling. Okay, either back off on that or, you know, cycle, and then understand you're not going to build maximal muscle mass. No one's going to be a pro bodybuilder or like a really big dude, and I love going bike riding all the time. Or just don't do it as intense or as long, or up the calories, and, you know, or see how you react to it and try it. I mean, just understand what you're trying to accomplish and what you're doing to get there. Yeah, but what is your goal and why are you doing it? That's what I ask people training for Grant. Yeah, that's ideally, it's common sense, but most people don't even get that far. They think they can do everything and get everything because they're doing everything. And that's not how the body works. Again, I use this example. The body, you have to force the cat into the corner. You back the cat up into the corner. It has nowhere else to go. It's going to jump on your face. You need to get your body to jump on your face. Your body is the cat. You need to force it into the corner. No matter what, has nowhere else to go. It has to jump on your fucking face. That's what you want to happen. That's what you want to happen. You want to treat your body like a cat, back it up into the corner, and then it has no choice but to adapt. That's what you want. You can't give your body any outs, because if you give your body an out, it will take it. How are we, Facebook? We're sleeping on Facebook. What's going on? So how's everyone doing today? What was your workout today? Good afternoon from NYC. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Swole Yoda. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Today, let's see what else is new today. Did a chest and back workout. I made that pooping text. That was great. I do appreciate the feedback on yesterday's post with the kid that was asking about pro hormones. If you didn't see that post, make sure you go check it out on Instagram and drop a comment. And I purposely didn't answer or respond. I usually respond to every single last comment. And it got like 200 comments, and I didn't touch any of them. I maybe answered one or two today. But I tried to not respond because I didn't want to bias anyone else's. I don't want to bias anyone else's response. I didn't want anyone to like say something based on what I said, but everyone was was on the same page. It was pretty ridiculous. And I do understand that. I just want your opinion. And I wanted to put that conversation out there because a lot of kids, a lot of young people are really thinking and considering that stuff, and they do it. Hit a personal, nice. Chest day, sweet, Swolga, and spin class. Ugh. I hate spin class. I die before I walk into a spin class. Fuck that. Why do people like that shit? Let me get on a bike, crush my nutsack, crush my vagina, bend over, hunch forward, overactivate the same muscles that I need to stretch. Let me compress my body more and just cycle really hard. Let me tighten up my calves more. Let me tighten up my hamstrings more. Let me put my hips in more aggressive hip flexion. Let me round my back more. Give myself fucking like kyphosis for half an hour. I don't understand spinning. A bicycle is like the worst postural position you could possibly fucking be in. You know, I love those like bike push-ups. Down and up and down and up. Ooh, that's a burner. That's a burner. Give me that 5-pound tricep push-up. A lot of disco lights and, you know, dark room, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden it's a spin class. Fucking bikes. I'm just messing with you. You taught Zumba? Oh, don't get me. I don't want to make this a rage on people watching. Everyone's like, Zumba spinning. I'm like, oh, fuck all that shit. I like the intense cardio. Why? What do you need it for? We need intense cardio for. Do sprints. You know what? I don't have anything against intense cardio or interval training. Do sprints. Do hill sprints. Do interval sprinting. Why not move like a human being? Why restrict yourself onto this like weird machine that humans created to get around for transportation, but now we have cars and we have things that get us around faster. Why not run? People don't sprint. People go running, they jog. They just run long distances for whatever fucking reason. That's why we're meant to walk. And then they don't sprint. Sprinting is great. Sprinting is great for maintaining muscle mass. It's really good for fat if you're looking to lose fat doing sprints. High intensity sprinting, hill sprints, or interval sprinting. That's good shit. And that's functional. That's literally what the body does. It's running. It's using your body. Could be what's been messing up my hips. Oh, yeah, could be. Probably, yeah, getting on a fucking bike and jacking yourself up. Spinning or being on a bicycle is like an amplification for all the incorrect postural positions that the body can be in. It's exaggerated spinal flexion in the thoracic area, locks you in place. It's exaggerated hip flexion with resistance. You're just tightening up your hip flexors more and your hamstrings and your calves, all the things that you want to do the opposite for. And you're sitting on your ass. Yeah, it's really like the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. And I'm not talking about for the cardio. I'm not talking about from like the heart pumping. Okay, it gets your heart rate up, but fuck, like you need to balance that out. Everyone's sitting far too often. Spinning usually just amplifies that. Just use sex for cardio. That's a good one. That'll get your heart rate up. All you runners. What is this, a cardio fucking audience today? Everyone's tuning in. Everyone's a cardio bunny. No, nothing wrong with that. Look, I don't have anything wrong. If you want to do cardio, you want to add that in, fine. But do not do cardio if you're not doing yoga. If you're lifting weights and you're doing your yoga regularly, okay, you want to add some kind of a cardiovascular activity, fine. But a lot of people do that kind of shit because people are so stressed out, they feel like they're not doing anything if they don't fucking die. And those are the people that need yoga the most. The ones that are obsessed with like high intensity cardio and shit that like can't function if they don't, do hardcore physical activities. Like your body is stressed out to shit. You need to do some fucking yoga. You need to unwind that shit. Got to unwind that shit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the bike stuff. Casual bike riding. What does the term mature muscle mean? It means muscle that has been exposed to fucking training for years. Muscle develops, it gets denser, it gets harder, it gets more adaptive to different mechanical angles and stresses. I'm not sure how scientific that term is, but in other words, like when you see someone who's maybe like 22 that's been lifting for a couple years, and then you see someone and they're like a certain size, and you see someone who's like in their 30s that's been lifting for 15, 20 years, just the muscle shape, it takes time to build muscle. It takes time to build muscle. It takes time to carve it. It takes time to shape it. It takes time to expose your body to that. It takes time to expose your body to all those different types of stresses. It takes your body time. Yeah, that's why it takes years. That's why it takes years and years and years, because your body has to adapt. It has to grow. It has to break down and build back up and break down and build back up and break down. And you're adding more weight and more progression and different angles and different resistance and different tensions and different parts of the range of motion. And then you're adding it. It's breaking down and building back up and break. So the more you expose it to and the more progressive, like you'll get more of a physical adaptation. You'll get more of a different look and oftentimes. And that's very genetic too. So it depends on in what way you're asking about, quote, mature muscle, like the way it looks, strength. I mean, is that just like a general question, or do you have a specific context for it? So anyway, today, Fat Fuck Friday, the first Fat Fuck Friday. Remember, everyone, this Sunday, it's Friday. So we got one more day until Swole Q&A, where it's just Q&A fucking city. So stay tuned for a post in my Instagram feed and also Instagram stories. I'll be putting those up tomorrow, so you can all get your questions in for Sunday. And then Sunday we'll be going through a shitload of questions. Got a ton last week, so let's see what comes through on Instagram and stuff. And I'll take live questions too. But if you can put it in print, it's easier, because sometimes, the questions pop up, but if I'm in the middle of something, I won't get to it and it disappears. I want to make sure I get to as many questions as possible. We go live. Last week was a great Q&A, and those are really good episodes to start with. If you're just coming into the podcast, check out one of the Sunday Swole Q&As, because a lot of the questions that you might have when you first start subscribing to the podcast could be answered or likely asked by someone else. That's really common too, that people are asking. And, you don't necessarily want to, maybe jump into one of the other episodes before you kind of hear and get a foundation, because some of your questions that you might have could have been answered in one of those, because you're just like a lot of the other people in the audience. That's part of the community. A lot of people ask the same questions, have the same curiosities. And what's great about the Q&A is a lot of the questions that are asked, I know a lot of other people benefit, because they think, oh, I never thought about asking that. So what's great about Q&A is a lot of times those questions that are asked are ones that you never thought to ask yourself. So make sure you definitely tune in and ask questions when I post those things on Instagram. And I'll do that tomorrow to make sure that everyone has enough time. I'll have to make a note of that so I don't forget. Tome Alves, I heard a younger bodybuilder ridicule a beginner older bodybuilder, laughing at him, telling him he'll never obtain the mature muscle that he has. A younger bodybuilder ridicule a beginner older body. I'm a little confused about that. I mean, you get better at anything. You get better at skills. You get better at developing muscle. I mean, if you've been lifting properly, you can lift for 20 years and look like shit. You can lift for 30 years and look like shit. You can lift for, that's another thing that people don't understand. And again, it comes back to adaptation. You can train for 20 years. It doesn't mean you're good at it. You can be doing the wrong shit for 20 years. You could be not eating enough calories. You could be not training hard or progressively for 20 years. Just because you're in the gym training doesn't mean you're going to get results. And it certainly doesn't mean just because you're doing it longer that you're going to get results. You could be training for 5 years and not see that much change and not really be happy with it. It's because you're not doing shit right. If you train properly, you will get results. It's still going to take a long time, but if you're training and you've been training for a couple years, there's a lot of things that you're doing wrong. A lot of things. It's not one thing. Oh, I'm just not drinking enough water. No, it's a lot of things. You're not consistent. You're not eating enough calories. You're not training hard. You're not doing a progressive overload program. You're not doing the right exercise. You're not going. There's a lot of things that are wrong. So, you don't want to just keep on beating your head against the wall. If you really want to make progress, you'll see change. You have to set some realistic goals and you have to do it properly. That's why it's important to know what your goal is so you can do the steps and do the workouts and do the programming that will get you to that goal. Oh, what do you think about intermittent fasting? Yeah, if you have a question about intermittent fasting, go listen to one of those Swole Q&As because people ask about intermittent fasting every fucking week. Every week. What do you think about intermittent fasting? I think it's skipping breakfast. Do you like to eat breakfast? No? Then you're doing intermittent fasting. That's it. Your take on eating for performance versus eating to modify body composition. Completely different things. What do you mean my take? You mean facts. It's not my opinion. It's just facts. You have to eat completely different. Performance is totally different. And everyone's different with that. If you're doing endurance training, you might be able to get away with something like ketosis. But if you're doing powerlifting, you're eating more of a carbohydrate dominant diet because sugar and glucose is your body's preferred source of energy for explosive activity. So if you're doing those types of sports, it's beneficial. Sometimes endurance athletes do ketosis and then carb load. They super saturate before events. So it depends on if you're just doing training or you're training for a competition. And then there's higher end, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not an expert in terms of like exactly the technical, like, you up this and down this. And because I don't compete, I don't do any like events like that, competition, things like that. So there are certain subtleties that the experts do of those that compete, but that's why when you do something at that high level for competition, you have a coach, you have someone who has experience that's been doing that for decades and coached people, and they know all the ins and outs of what gets the best performance with that activity. But performance and composition is just like the training, the nutrition's different too. Do you, Keegan Williams, do you recommend full body workouts or focusing on one thing at a time? Depends on your goal and your experience. You can build muscle with total body workouts. You can drop the volume and increase the frequency, but you won't have necessarily the detail, or you won't have the overload per se on individual muscle groups. So if you're trying to do bodybuilding and build a physique, it's better to do segmented training and break it up during the week. But if you're just trying to build overall mass, you're a beginner, you're doing a deloading week, or you just have limited time, then total body workouts are also good, but you're also going to have to spend more time in the gym if you want to get enough volume to stimulate growth. I like to carb load on Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes this time of year. That will get you huge. The hell are those? Sounds disgusting. Sounds gross. Joe Conjo. Good name. Joe Conjo. How difficult is lean bulking? Extremely challenging. You have to micromanage your food. You have to do a very subtle caloric surplus. It's very challenging. Very, very challenging. It's not worth it. You're not going to get fucking fat as hell if you're bulking properly. If you're eating a shitload of garbage and fast food, yeah, you're going to put on a lot of fat. But lean bulking is just really not worth it. You're going to make incremental progress and incremental muscle growth, even with just regular classic eating more bulking. Just bulk up, put muscle on, be in a caloric surplus. Your testosterone will be high. Everything will be pumping. You'll be increasing strength. You'll be going just fucking crushing. And then you start cutting down. There's a reason why people bulk and then they cut, because that's how the body works. You're not going to do a caloric deficit and build muscle and strength. And even with a very, very slight caloric surplus, it's probably going to be a negligible difference and you're going to struggle to put on size. So that's why people do 500, 1,000 plus calories surplus, so you have enough tools to build muscle. Because even if you do a subtle surplus in calories, you still have to train like a fucking beast. So what people don't understand is if you're eating, let's say you're bulking, right? Let's say you need 4,000 calories to bulk. If you're not training hard enough, you're going to put on more fat. So a lot of people bulk and they use that as like, oh, I'm eating everything, I'm bulking, but they're not training hard enough. So what they're really doing is just putting on more fat. So you can't just bulk and eat. You have to train like a fucking animal and do it right to fatigue and failure and fucking crush yourself. Because otherwise you're just going to be putting on fat, and then when you cut, you're not going to have much muscle to show for it because you weren't training right to begin with. So that's a huge problem. And a lot of people bulk, they just get soft and fluffy and they think they're putting on muscle, but they're not. And they cut back down and they're back to where they were. They just got fat and they lost. So you have to build muscle. You have to be training hard enough. People put a lot of pressure on the nutrition, like, oh, it's 80% nutrition. Tell that to someone who does exactly what I just said. It's a lot more than just 20% training. It's fucking a lot of training. The training is a huge part of it. You don't magically put on muscle. Well, I kind of did a little bit of training today, so I'm bulking up. Fuck you. You got to go hardcore. What is the best workout for abs? There is no such thing. Practice your planks, do yoga. There's no best workout for anything. There's no best exercise. There's no best. Best is very, very subjective and that's opinion. There is no like, this is the best one. Now, if you're getting scientific, you might be like, oh, this exercise stimulates more muscle activation because they put the sensors on it. Hanging leg raises, planks are great, ball crunches and stuff like that. But, most core strength is going to be done by yoga and intrinsic muscles and glute activation. And you'll activate plenty of core when you do things like back squats, front squats, and, those kind of weighted systemic exercises. Holly, yeah, I agree. Dirty bulking is an excuse to be fat. It is. People use that and go all in like, I'm bulking, dirty, bulking season. You just don't want to pay attention to how you eat. You want to eat a lot of junk and still feel like you're doing and making progress. That's what most people do it for. You're welcome, Keegan. Holly, you have to go to war. Yeah, you have to train hard. You have to train really, really hard. You can't just depend on nutrition to carry you through. You have to do the training right. And I'm telling you, I know because I do it. I know it because I continue to do it and I have done it. It's amazing what I see people do. No one trains hard in the gym. They do a workout. Look, I see so many people doing a workout and they go to the gym every day or whatever. And I see them training, but they're not training hard enough. There's a big difference between doing all these sets and actually doing enough to break your shit down to stimulate growth. Like, you have to beat your fucking body up. And once you beat your body up regularly, guess what? Your body adapts to you beating it up. Your body adapts to you beating it up. So guess what happens? You get stronger, you build muscle, and then you got to beat it up fucking more. And now it's used to you beating it up, so it's less likely to adapt because it gets harder to incrementally keep on growing. That's why most people don't. And when you're trying to gain weight, you eat a caloric surplus. And then when you gain weight, guess what? That surplus is now your maintenance. So you have to increase your calories more. You have to pay attention to these things. And a lot of people, I'm not gaining any more weight because you're eating the same amount of fucking calories. Your body adapts. You gained weight and now that's your maintenance. You have to increase more. It's really not, I look at it and it makes so much sense. Like, that's why people don't fucking get results, because it's so much hard. It's so much more effort. It's really, really hard because it's against what your body's survival mechanisms are. When you have pain, when you have burning, when the muscles are tearing apart, when your body is breaking down, everything is telling you, stop, this is hurting. Stop, this burns. Stop, this is exhausting. It's very hard to shut that off and keep going through that burn and through that extreme pain. Most people can't handle that. Most people, when it starts burning, they do a couple more reps and they put it down like 10, 12. Good. That's why I don't count reps. In all my programs, whenever I have the reps, that's approximate. That's like an idea. That's a concept. I don't count reps during a set. If I'm going heavy, I know I'm going heavy. I don't need to be like, 5, 6. No, I'll grab a heavy weight. If I know I did a bunch more than 6, okay, I'll grab a heavier weight. And I'll do a few reps. Like, the number doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's heavier or it's lighter, or it's somewhere in the middle, like that range. Your body is going to be like, oh, you did 9. You didn't do 10. You're not building muscle today. Silly little monkey. You only did 9 reps. We're not gaining mass. That's not how the body works. It's about the overload. It's about going to that point of failure. It's going to that point of overload and volume and exposing your body to fucking reps and reps with heavy weight over and over and over again in a workout, in a week, in a month, in a year, over and over and over again. And your body has no choice but like, fuck this shit. It hurts every day. It hurts every week. He's overloading us every fucking time. It just keeps on getting heavier and more challenging. And your body just keeps on growing and growing and growing. You have to deload and, do active recovery and stuff. But it's just like, in the long term, the bigger picture, your body adapts to handle the shitstorm that you're putting it through because it doesn't want to be in pain. It doesn't want to be injured. Your body wants to survive. You are designed to survive and live to see the next day so you can fucking make babies. And that's it. So your body wants to live to see tomorrow. And that's what your body will adapt to do. And when it burns, it's natural to want to stop. It's natural to want to stop. The body gives you every signal. Warning, this hurts. Warning, this is damage. Warning, warning, we want to survive. Warning. You have to be like, nope, I'm going to keep on fucking you up. And that's very hard for most people to do. Papa Swole live while I'm taking a poop. See, I told you all take shits when you watch me. That's weird. I'm picturing like everyone like I can smell it. I can smell everyone. I hope social media doesn't keep on getting more advanced. I hope we don't have like phones that like send smells eventually. It's like text messages, sounds, audio. Now it's like, oh, you smell these roses, and all of a sudden you're holding a text and you smell roses. That could get really bad. Just smells like shit all of a sudden, just emanating from the speaker. You could like fart in someone's face. You're on FaceTime. Like, oh, did you? It's a virtual fart. Do you think what we are doing should be called lifestyle of life? What? English or English? Do you think you mean lifestyle or life? Was that of mean to be or? Life, fitness is life. Fitness is life and life is fitness. Sometimes I'll use the word lifestyle, but it's really not a lifestyle. It should be your life. Fitness is all that you have. If you don't have fitness, you die. When you lose the ability to be fit and move and survive, it's life. Fitness is absolutely life. Lifestyle just means like everyone's subtle changes in lifestyle are going to be different. Lifestyle for me is, how many calories are you eating? What are your priorities? Are you going to the gym in the morning, evening? Oh, that's my lifestyle. This is what I do. But everyone's life is fitness, or it should be. It's certainly not everyone's life like focus. But the thing is with fitness and training and health, like real health, it's not about the muscle mass or abs and things like that. It's about your well-being. So people think, life or my lifestyle. It's like, I like these clothes. I like this car. I like this. All right. I get it. You like possessions and some things are nice. Okay. I have things that I'm interested in too, but really I just get excited when I have quality food and I train hard. Like that's all I want. That's all you need. That's all you are. If you don't have that, if you're taking care of that, okay, go for some other, if you want some material possessions, all right, whatever, to each their own. But come on, if you're not taking care of your body, you're fundamentally fucked in the head. Because if you're not taking care of your body and you're just eating whatever, you're the one that's going to be on medication. You're the one that's bleeding this fucking system dry. You're the one that's going to have diabetes. So work so hard for all your money and possessions. They're not going to help you when you have diabetes. They're not going to help you when you have heart disease or have a heart attack and fucking die or cancer. These are things that we can prevent for the most part. Most of these diseases, most of heart disease, most of cancers are environmental. You're not born with fucking cancer in most cases. Leukemia in kids, that sucks. It's fucked up. But most people don't. You're not just genetically. You're not. I'm just gonna have cancer. No, it's like, are you smoking? Are you eating like crap? Are you exercising? Are you living under power lines? Are you breathing in tons of toxins? Are you doing? It's all these different things. Environmental. A Fitness is Life is one of my most popular videos. I got like 7 or 8 million views. Can you cut this part of the video and post it on Facebook? I'd love to share it. I don't know which part you're referring to, so probably not. Actually, I have so many. I used to post clips of this, but and I keep wanting to do clips of this on Instagram and just pull clips from the episode. But I have so much stuff going on. It's so hard to do that. I just in the future when I have other people editing videos and doing stuff, that's something that I would aspire to do, but it's really challenging to get another, so when I have a chance to do some other video content, I try to make other videos rather than just pull from this. So it's not monotonous. So I do like other spotlight videos and other things, but yeah, I know. I love some of these rages. The rage is good. I love the rage. Rage is good. I'm sure you've been asked this before. I've never heard your response, but what's your opinion on Planet Fitness? I've made a video on Planet Fitness. What's my opinion on it? I don't care. I don't really give a shit. I would never go there. I would never go to a Planet Fitness. Their whole approach is, they did it smart. They're like, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be fat. Come here and join they just want to collect a monthly membership. Their model is make people feel good about themselves, pretty much fat acceptance. Come here, don't really get results, but have a little community here because we accept you as you are. Don't worry, no one's going to look at you or say things to you, or you're not going to have to look at people that aren't actually taking care of your body. And, you know, we'll collect $10 a month and you'll keep it forever and we'll make money on the recurring. That's their model. And it was brilliant from a business standpoint, but from an actual health and helping people, some people use it for their advantage. They're like, shit, cheap membership. Let me go. Fine. Some people use it properly, but you know, there's a lot of things wrong with it. But it's fine. You can go there and get great results. Why couldn't you? I would never go there, but that's just me. I mean, there's something for everyone. But if you're going to go, fucking do some work. Preston, can someone have smaller size arms than someone else, but have more muscle because they have longer arms than that other person? Dude, I don't know what the fuck. That's a weird ass question. Can they have more muscle because they have longer arms? What do you mean? More muscle just like based on kilograms? It's not going to look bigger. Longer arms depends on the muscle and the tendon insertion. I don't know. I'm sure anything's possible, but that's kind of a weird question. I don't even know why I would answer that. Like, who cares? I have longer arms. I have more muscle, but I'm not bigger. It's like, what are you, like a stick figure? Just like long fucking lanky arms like Jack Skellington or something. How do you split your workout? What's yours? As what do you train together? You can stay tuned for the gain train. I'll give some updates on that. I'm not going to go through my whole training stuff right now. I like supersets. You can go to Planet. Don't take my opinion. If you want to go to Planet Fitness, go to Planet Fitness. Can someone look smaller but be stronger? Sure. I don't like to dog out Planet Fitness, but it serves its purpose, but no one that's serious goes there. True. Most people that go there are jokers. Most people don't. You don't go to Planet Fitness if you want to really fucking make some progress. But sometimes you don't have a choice. Can you go? Of course. I mean, it's a gym like anything else, but if I went there, I wouldn't be inspired. At least the larger people have a gym where they can feel like it's a positive atmosphere to get them started. I fucking hate that. I love you, Holly, but I fucking hate that mentality. No, at least the larger people have a gym. The larger people have a gym everywhere everyone else has a gym. Everyone has a gym anywhere there's a gym. There's no gym out there. Well, maybe there's some, but no gym out there is like, you can come in, but no blacks or Jews. You know, there aren't gyms like that. It's like you go in, you pay, and you fucking work out. You go in there and you fucking work out. Like, it doesn't matter if you're 400 pounds or you're 150 pounds. Anyone can go to any gym. If you feel embarrassed and you want to go there, like, I get it, but most people go there and they don't see change because Planet Fitness is pretty much like a fat acceptance gym. It's like body positivity gym. And that's a fundamental problem. That shouldn't be that kind of like the arm around the shoulder shit has run its course in this country. You know? I mean, you said like fat acceptance. Yeah, it's like the body positivity gym. And that's really run its course. And it's not, it seems on the surface. Oh, that's right, Holly. I'm sorry. That's right. Holly, you're in Australia. I forgot. That's right. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to Google it. I don't want to go into I'll explain it. You can look it up. But something like that, like Planet Fitness has on the surface, it sounds like a good idea. Like, oh, that's going to help a lot of people. But when you have things like pizza parties and you don't allow, you know, it should be inspiring. The whole approach is people taking personal responsibility. When you see someone that's in better shape than you, people get offended and they're like, oh my God, look at that person, man. They respond with like hate and fucking negativity when you should be looking at that like, fuck, you know, that person's inspiring. I want to look like that. I want to feel like that. I want to train harder. And it should inspire them. It's like my video that I made, You're Fat. Some people got offended by it. And some people, and most people were inspired and like, I'm going to fucking make a difference now. It's the person. It's taking responsibility. If you're not okay with who you are and you're not taking responsibility and you're not blaming everyone else for you being in your situation, if you take ownership, you look at that as a positive thing. You don't look at that as like an attack on you. Yeah, someone else is in better shape. Why does that offend you? You should be fucking inspired. Right? there's this reverse. The fat acceptance and body positivity is like reversing and making it almost offensive to be in great shape. Okay. I don't have to accept you for being exceptionally obese. I don't have to accept that shit. Why am I a dick for taking care of my fucking body? Right? I eat properly and I train hard for like my entire life. You don't understand. You don't understand because you're in shape. I know, because I take care of myself, because I fucking train hard, because I care about my fucking health. Yes, that's why I am not in your situation. That is why. And I know there's medical issues, but a lot of those medical issues come from neglect over the course of years. If you are young and you were born with some kind of a defect, this message is not for you. So to get offended by someone who has put in the work, and that's what a body is and a physique is. It's a fucking walking resume. It's like, this is what I do with my body. This is what I do with my life. I eat, obviously eat a certain way, you train, and your body is literally just, that's why people usually try to fill voids with fancy cars, brand name clothes and designer shit. It's because they're trying to value or create value about themselves based on these purchases. And for me, I want to do that with my body. I want to do that with my physique. What's my next body goals? I don't really have any. At minimum, maintain, improve mobility and flexibility. I don't really care that much about getting bigger or muscle size or anything. Yeah, most people, that's why that's our business model. Planet Fitness. Really cheap membership. They sign up but don't go. Yeah, you collect the recurring. So anyway, make sure that you go check out my Instagram, check out the post, and make sure you tune in tomorrow, of course, but also tomorrow I'll make the posts for the Sunday Swole Q&A. I will be going live for a couple moments. In a couple moments, I'm going live in Swolenormous X, the private community. I'm going to be going live in the private Facebook group for members. I want to explain some of the new stuff and some of the new tweaks. Super, super cool. Super stoked about the new releases. So I'll be going live for a few minutes. So if you're a Swolenormous X member, head on over to the group, or make sure you turn on your alerts, because I'll be going live in a few minutes. And enjoy the rest of your Friday. Make sure you get your pump on. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you're not subscribed already. And you can subscribe. Go check out swolenormousx.com for all the details on the podcast, this, that, and the other. And I will see everyone tomorrow for episode 939 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for 939. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Papa Swole, yo. Out.